Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy Sunday, depending on when you're going to watch this. Okay, a lot to talk about this week. My brain's been working, thank God. First, Viva Fresh this Thursday and this weekend. I hope to see many of you there. Please, this is what I look like with a mask on. So if you see those eyes, you know, come and say hello. You know I love to speak produce. Okay, so Viva Fresh, it's our first live event. I was not too good with the virtual stuff at all. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing some old friends and making some new ones. So I hope to see you there. Okay, little change. I've been beaten up on some retailers, some wholesale. I'm going to totally change this. I always believed if you're not part of the solution, you're the problem. So let me take my own advice. I just want to discuss about going forward. Like let's make it better, and I want to have a lot of positive impact instead of bashing. You know how I feel about large retail. I've said it. You know how I feel about their displays. I've said it. Going forward, I just like to say what I would do, or maybe someone do it. I also like to say they've come a long way. Walmart, HEB, stores that I see now. I'm going to start traveling again, so there'll be a lot more stores to look at. But definitely have come a long way from their RPC boxes. I mean, they still have it in there, but they've come a long way with their displays, and it's for the better of their produce. So we're going to be positive from now on. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm sorry. I'm sure I'll sneak something in there now and then because it's just me. But so one of the things I want to talk about right off the bat, Dirty Dozen, and this thing gets so much traction every year. And we as an industry should be countering it. You know what's amazing? The two, I think the top two berries and peppers, I think moved into the number 2 spot as a category. On the Dirty Dozen, it's a violator. But berries, I think, is the number 1 category in retail sales. If not, it's definitely near the top. And peppers moved up this year, so it's a little. The message is not getting out. Is how I look at it. We have to count that message, and we have to tell people all the great benefits of produce. What I've been saying all along, telling our story, is very, very important. Also, to that vein. I think with people wanting to get out, I think this past week we had a number 1 day in over a year of people flying. People have been cooped up and they want to get out. And I think getting out might be going to retail stores. I don't believe the online phenomenon is ending by any means. Maybe more people will come to their store. I just want to say this as a produce guy and as a shopper. If I was buying from you online and I went into your store and it looked like garbage, chances are I wouldn't feel the same way of buying from you online again in the future. You may believe it, you may believe it not. I'm just giving you my opinion. I always said that the appearance in the store would affect online sales. COVID changed a lot of that, and we spoke about that many times about getting about 5 years of growth in 5 months. But I think going forward, you have to really spruce up those stores. Another thing I mentioned what the online thing, online shopping, you have to create that impulse sale. I recommended maybe doing a walk down your produce aisle virtually, and putting produce manager's pick of the week, something that tastes delicious, something that's in season, something that, the Paula thing, something that is in high volume, low prices, so it's a value item for a consumer. having something like that going down the aisle, I think it'd be a big help. Maybe even get some people that didn't shop online in the past to do it. So, again, personally, you know, I bought I moved into this house 5 months ago, and most of the stuff, all the furniture, all the accessories, I bought 99% of that stuff online. So I just think food is the next way to go, and we have to be a captive audience. So again, that's just a couple of my takes on how to make the retail part of this better. But now let's talk about overproduction. I actually thought about this. You know, before a farmer plants, there's a seed salesman, right? And then usually farmers get together, and I'm going to give you an example. And I'm well versed in Mexican produce, so I'm going to give you the Mexican point of view. So 10 squash farmers be sitting around a table. Oh, I got killed last year. I'm not going to plant squash this year. Me too. I'm not going to plant it. I'm not going to plant it. And then they all go home, and they all say, oh, all those guys aren't going to plant squash this year. I'm going to be the guy that plants squash, and I'm going to be the king of the market. Well, the only problem is the 10 other guys that think of the same thing, and guess what happened? I think that's what happened with red peppers this year. But even before that, there's the seed salesman. Remember, he's a salesman. He's got to sell seeds, right? And he's got to sell this year's seeds. So what does he do? He goes to the farmer. Oh, man, no, I can't believe it. Nobody's growing squash this year. So that exacerbates the problem, and you know where I'm going with this, right? So, you know, crap rolls downhill. So the seed guy sells it to a guy that says he's not going to grow it, sells it to that guy, and you have overproduction. Overproduction could usually work its way out of a system. But this year, with a lot of the economy shut down, it's having a hard time. We saw that in many markets, and I'll just dovetail that into, guess what next week is? Week of the Twos. And again, there's 2 weeks this month. You have the week of the Twos, and I think the first is not on until the following week, till the end of the week, like a Thursday or a Friday. So that means you have 2 full weeks of the Twos. The good news is the second week is the buying week before Easter. So that may take care of that week, but you still got the week of the Twos this week. And I'm telling you, there's really no markets with any wind in the sails. All the markets pretty much are, they're all cheap. They're all cheap. Even cucumbers that 1 or 2 guys raised the FOBs, but I think that was the wrong move unless I see something different on Monday. I say that market was, you know, they went in the wrong direction. I think that market's going to be lower, not higher. Eggplants, all the squashes, red peppers are going to be very, very cheap. Green peppers are coming off. Again, not too many items to get excited about. So that's it. Another thing, I have to say this. I'm looking for really good trucking companies and good truck brokers. I have an extensive list. I'm going to weed some of them out. Some people, I feel about truck brokers the way I feel about produce. If you can't get it for me when it's hot, why do I need you when it's not, right? So trucks have been tight this year. I have some very good trucking companies, some very good brokers. We're going to weed out some of the non-performers and try to add some new stars to that. But how I thought about this, you know, it's amazing. When trucks started loosening up, you get 10 emails a day and not too many calls. And I got to tell you something, guys out there, the calls will help you a lot more than the emails. But it's amazing when trucks are really short. Nobody sends those emails. When they start loosening up a little bit and they come down a few $100s, you get a lot of those emails. So I also want to thank, I got a lot of new connections, some generated. I actually asked some people to be connections, and some people invited me to be connections. I want to thank you all. If I didn't thank you, at once, I want to thank you. I want to thank you now. I love connections. Most of my connections are in the food business. I I don't take a foreign currency trader, although I was one many years ago. I don't take Bitcoin. Can I tell you my Bitcoin stories? I was going to buy Bitcoins at $900, and I was, and during the process, it was amazing that I read that somebody could basically, steal your Bitcoins or lose them, and that was enough for me. I don't regret it. Well, I guess I regret it a little. I think it's 56,000 now. So that $5,000 investment would have been worth quite a lot of money. But I don't take Bitcoin investors as connections because I'm not going to buy them. Last, and probably going back to what I said about telling our story. People that know me for a long time, the beginning of Lent, I fast for 4 days. The end of Lent, I fast for 4 days. The whole middle of Lent, I only eat fresh food. So I don't eat anything out of the center store. I don't eat any grain products, no bread. So basically it's fruit, vegetables, nuts and seeds, meat, chicken, pork, fish. End of story. I lost about 12 pounds already. I do this every Easter. Oh, I also fast on Fridays. Why? Because if I don't, I eat meat. If I fast, I don't eat anything. So to me, that's why I did it. It works. It works for me. And I'll tell you one other story. When I was 6 years old, it was Pope Paul VI, and I went to Catholic schools my whole life. So when I was a kid, I wanted to be the Pope. So yeah, I was always ambitious, but yeah, I didn't want to, just be a priest. I wanted to be the Pope. So anyway, getting back to the diet. The diet's not the important thing. The important thing is to tell the stories about the produce and how healthy it is, and counter that again that dirty dozen ad that comes not ad report that comes out every year. There's got to be people smarter than me that could debunk some of it. There's a lot of people. A lot of things are grown with pesticides. People wash it off. You could buy organic if you could afford it. It's becoming more and more affordable. But again, just my 2 cents. I think that's enough. We're at 12 and a half minutes, and I pretty much think you had it with me. Hopefully, I'll see you at Viva Fresh, and we could speak about produce a little more. Remember, I love you. I love the produce business, and probably see you on Tuesday. I'll definitely see you at Viva Fresh. Take care.